go through during this next semester. And really, here is the course description. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you because you're very capable of doing that yourself in the catalog or online or even in the syllabus. But for the most part, we're going to look at money and where Bitcoin came from. And it's really very interesting. You'll see Bitcoin actually has an agenda. It's got a full-blown economic agenda. It's got a profit agenda, but it also has a social implication, which may surprise people because really part of the function of Bitcoin, because of the fact it's built on blockchain, is the fact that it starts eliminating third-party financial advisors and intermediaries and puts you in charge of actually the transaction that you want to manage. This depends which area you look at. It just depends which person is doing the analysis. I've read everywhere from the part that Bitcoin can save you is anywhere from 24 to 37% of all the different intermediaries that get profit from your normal financial transaction, because Bitcoin really is based upon the blockchain. And we'll talk about those technical specifications. There's more to Bitcoin than just a high-risk investment. There's actually a whole functioning intermediary financial background that's behind it. Some of the things we're going to learn about is how money's changed into a worldwide format, especially in digital. Almost all transactions, over 90% of them are digital in nature. No longer do we use cash currency. We'll talk about that. We'll look on the difference between a crypto market versus a traditional investment market. We'll look on the different aspects that are coming up, trying to regulate anything digital. We'll look on the volatility. We'll look at the risk analysis. We'll look at some of the securities bonds and the relationship of those things in the aspect with cryptocurrencies. We'll look at NFTs, which I think is really exciting in the world of art. Some of it is awful, some of it's spectacular, but you get to make your own judgment on that. We'll look at investment trading in the aspect of all the different things that relate to crypto, and maybe to some extent, we're going to touch base on some of the other ones that relate out there as well. We're going to specifically focus on the first paper that describes the concept of cryptocurrency. It's interesting. I'm going to spend some time going through it because it really does an underlying foundation. And yes, you've heard about different things about cryptocurrency. Crypto got hacked. Well, actually, Bitcoin hasn't been. Okay, so we'll talk about that aspect and why it hasn't been. We'll look at the prehistory of crypto because cryptocurrency is not the very first internet money. We'll look on the official Crypto Pizza Day. Yes, there actually is a pizza day that celebrates the first purchase of something on cryptocurrency, and you'll be surprised as to how much that one pizza costs. We'll look on the 5 major classifications of crypto. There's actually 9, but there's 5 major ones. We'll look at all 9 of them briefly, but we'll focus in on those 5. We'll look on the future crypto. We'll look on the regulatory reach or maybe even overreach of the SEC into the wild west of cryptocurrency. We'll look at probably one of the most profound things that's going to affect our long-term future is called smart contracts as we dive into the 3rd generation of crypto and actually the 3rd generation of the internet as well. We'll look at the concept of proof of work versus proof of stake and what the differences is. We'll look at digital dollars, which is coming into its own in the next couple of years. We'll look at non-fungible tokens or NFTs. We'll look at initial coin offerings. And, just for fun, we're going to have our own crypto portfolio as one of our projects for the class. And maybe you too become artificially rich in crypto or artificially poor because the market is that volatile. Here's some of the assignments we'll talk about. The biggest thing that I want you to focus in here, the quizzes are nice and everything and the assignments, but the discussion boards, spend some quality time talking to your colleagues in the class in the aspect of cryptocurrency. You're all taking this. This is a non-credit class, and to some extent, it's supposed to be fun, but I want you to learn a huge amount of material because this is a future market that all of us will be able to see and watch evolve in the next 30 years or less. Of course, you have Canvas, which you're on right now to even see this video. We have a textbook, and you can get an online free copy when everything is working right or you can buy a hard copy. It's relatively inexpensive. It's called The Truth About Crypto. There are no true textbooks out there that met my satisfaction on cryptocurrency. I have this one. It's easy reading. If the Z library is up and nobody's hacked it recently, you can get it for free. You can download it as a digital copy, or you can just pick it up on Amazon. It's a brand new book still, 2022. So it really is the first edition, and it's easy reading to the point that you'll be able to go through the book during the course of the semester and not be stuck and bogged down by terminology. I think it's explained very well. I do a lot of communicating. So you'll be seeing these pod classes on a regular basis. I teach a lot of classes. If you want to communicate with me, the best way is always email, and make certain you identify which class that you're telling me that you're part of. If you don't, my response would be, what class are you in? Don't waste your time and mine by saying, hi, I'm so-and-so, and then tell me your thing without telling me what class you're in, because I need to place you in the proper context to be able to respond intelligently back. Now, by the way, keep your emails brief. People like brief communications. I do, you too as well. Don't go on and on. If you're approaching a full screen, you probably have said too much. So make certain you have good business practices, and you're going to go through and look at that aspect of how brief it is. Typically in a normal class, I always tell everybody, for every hour of class, there's 2 hours to read the course material and complete homework assignments. This class, this non-credit, so with that caveat, okay, you may want to do that as well. This is going to be an interesting topic. The world is enormous in cryptocurrency out there. It's got $1 trillion evaluation, and it's my belief that's going to go up probably dramatically. We will eventually eclipse the former $3 trillion evaluation in the next several years, but we'll see what happens. Canvas, it makes certain if you have any problems, I would write this phone number down, stick it in your phone, take a picture now of this phone number and put it in your phone. IVC, Irvine Valley College, IT department, they have a great help desk. They're very professional. They'll respond to you. Their phone number is 949-451-5696. Make certain if something goes sideways, don't delay, give them a call. If it's a Canvas problem where you can't get access on your computer, they're going to be able to help you better than I would. Now, I'm always there to help you, but if it's a Canvas issue, these are the texts. They're spectacular. I use them on a regular basis when necessary, but you know what? They're so efficient, I seldom have to use them. They explain things thoroughly, and they will help you. We have a really good IT department. This class is called asynchronous. Now, whenever you see a word with an A in front of it, typically that word A comes from the Greek alphabet, then it means non or not. So this is not synchronous. Synchronous means you're all meeting at the same time. This is asynchronous, which means you get to watch this whenever you want. So I created a special format. I call it a pod class. And what I do is I provide a segment of knowledge in a brief period of time, and it hits your mailbox really at 7 o'clock every morning. Now, you don't have to open up your email. Okay, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You can watch it anytime you feel like it, but pretty much my regularity of hitting people's email is really a pod class at about 7 o'clock, usually 3 days a week. And some weeks, like their very first week, you're going to have at least 5 emails hitting your email box with different pod classes. The pod classes can last, the shortest one is like 6 minutes long, and the longest is 14 minutes, but most of them are 8 to 10 minutes. You can watch it at your leisure on your phone, on your iPad. I also include the PowerPoint for that week also listed in your module on Canvas. You'll be able to see it, read the PowerPoint yourself, and also hear me talk in this kind of a format for you. It's called a pod class. You can also watch it sequentially in Canvas. So let's say for week 1, you'll see the pod class listed there in the module 1, but you'll also be getting them as an announcement on your cell phone and or your computer. Now, also, when you open up on Canvas, you'll see the modules, but you'll also see on the left-hand side something called syllabus. Okay, so if you click on syllabus, you'll see the official written syllabus that I have, the one that I've created and that I've sent to you already online. But you'll also, underneath my syllabus, you'll see that Canvas automatically puts things in chronological due date. which is really helpful. So the system's fabulous on it. So take a look. I encourage you to explore on Canvas. Click to your heart's content. You're not going to break it. So feel free to go around and explore Canvas as to what options are there available to you. Make certain you submit all your assignments on Canvas. Do not email them to me, okay? But make sure you submit them on Canvas. Late homework could be subject to reduction. Make certain you do the different coursework we have in here and turn it in. If something happens, because life does happen sometimes, and you can't complete the course, I encourage you to drop the class on your own. Don't wait for me to sit down and do some kind of exploration saying, how come you're not doing any of the work in class? Okay, that's your job. So make sure you take care of that if you have to drop. Academic honesty, I mean, in all seriousness, this is a course that you're going to learn material on. Don't falsify, don't plagiarize, don't cheat. Don't even use ChatGPT. Good night. You don't have to do that. You'll have one project, and it's going to be a fun project on top of that, watching your cryptocurrency portfolio rise or fall, but it's going to be a fake portfolio. We're not using real money unless you want to. Okay, feel free to do that, except you don't run the risk of becoming fabulously rich, in which case feel free to send money to the IBC Foundation or even me. Okay, but that said, make certain though that we're going to have an experimental crypto portfolio as part of the class. It should be kind of fun. So no academic dishonesty. On the dialogues, I encourage you to be open and frank. Now, open and frank doesn't mean rude and nasty. What that means is be respectful, because part of my philosophy in life has always been and always will be about treating people with dignity and respect. And I hope that you do the same in your conversations, especially in our class when it comes to dialogues. On the dialogues, we have 4 different discussions. You're going to have your own little post you have to put on there. And then once you do that, you have to respond to at least 2 other classmates. This is an opportunity to talk to other people about cryptocurrency, the different topics that we have, and then respond to them as well in kind, and make certain that you're always appropriate and kind. Great class. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. And this should be a great opportunity to see cryptocurrency, what it is today, and then have our own minds, how it's going to project way off into the future. Yes, it's high risk, but there's a huge underlying of good positive things underneath it, especially on the blockchain that we're going to explore as part of this class. Take care.